Only take a when I'm dead. I'm the gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, he already dead. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 96. You a shook one, breathe easy, know the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah, the mother ride or die for my strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm indeed cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right there's on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? They're warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This. On that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York, with a pitchfork.
I let my birds come in. Sounds like I seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. LED logo the tag. I go in back of the. They all from that. My diamonds, they all look at. This, that. I go to bed on bed. I got the demon on flats. I got it in the back. Haters, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, don't man. I'm a K-back. 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they scamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the Jordan, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, my we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, my we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a band. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I got my. I go to hotels when I step out, yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs with a. Yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no madman. I just go crazy, man. Go hard, can't face, man. Choppers, rip wasteland. This what happen when you give it a taste life and you give it a wasteland. This what happens when you give it a fake life and then the aping. I let my birds come in. Sounds like I see it in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. I let my birds come in. Sounds like I see it in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle.
It's one of them ones, man. You just in the car, man. It's like when you in the car, you just think about everything, man. Definitely when you you by yourself and you just cruising on the highway, man. Yeah, this got me thinking. On that cap, swerving through traffic, listening to trap. My windows ain't tinted, so notice me. 4 braids, Yankee fitted, yeah, know it's me. I'm everywhere comfortable, but I'm still attentive. A young with money will make offended. I ain't flashy, I'm classy, but I ain't stupid either. Never show up to that's hungry and eager. My brother's keeper, I'm loyal, it's all in my demeanor. A true believer, I believe when they didn't believe her. That's why I don't let opinions affect me. I do what I want to do. If they do or they don't accept me, they expect me to give up. I almost did. Things went from moving faster, slow motion. I was losing focus, stuck on that. It was smooth on the surface, but underneath it was broken. Hoping to find hope in this hopeless world we live in. What you give is what you given. Gotta make wise decisions, gotta stay tunnel vision, gotta avoid collision. Keep scratching the surface and keep your palms itching. Gotta pay moms a visit, it's been a while. I've been working, she keep telling me she miss her child. I find myself passing the house, then I spin around. She say I'm always moving, ma, I just can't sit around. Oh my, cause the cash ain't gonna come to us. When we was down, who gave a dime or gave a for us? So instead of making it hard, I made it fun for us. Make it easy, so when you need it, you just run to us. But it's a lot of pressure, I'm trying to stick and move through this. Fixing these bumps on the road so I can just cruise to this. Living my life on the road, I'm trying to get used to this. And when they throw dirt, I just act like a broom to this. Trying to stay true to this, even when they lie on me. World on my shoulders, my girl can't even cry on me. God watching over me, the devil probably spy on me. I've been going through some, Kenneth keep an eye on me. I know it's been a drought, but to my fans, don't go dry on me. If you want a picture, take a picture.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
That's how we do, D. That's how we do. They don't want none. They don't want none of this.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Over, over! Over, over!
He'll drop to throw. And Jennings has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across. Midfield. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Gun!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you'd gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
They'll set up a throw. And that'll be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Higgins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now they try the right side here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Now they'll run it on the toss. Spinning away. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They're going to look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. This from 42 yards out. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's like you're going negative on me,
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch the twist. Watch the twist. No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jennings. The reception good for 7. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Watch it now, Barney!
A handoff to Mixon. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They'll drop to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for the Browns. 47 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll look to throw here. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. Now they'll run it on the toss. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up first and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And this one through the uprights and good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate Leverage guys, win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he tugged this one badly. It's no good. Wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. So what a let-off there. You figure that was an easy 3 points. Instead, it turns into nothing.
And from that close of range, if you start it left, your goose is cooked. And this thing, well, it never had a chance to straighten itself out.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now after the loss, they come up 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
They'll set up to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Detroit!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And that's caught inside the 35. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Blue 90! Detroit! All right, now, Lucky 56!
He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now, Barney! Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Gun! Watch him now, Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Check 26! No. Me. All right, now, Lucky 56!
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as your defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Detroit!
Looking to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. I got you, baby. I got you. Gun!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Tries to hit Jennings, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Jennings was the one he was looking for. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Detroit! Gun!
They'll throw now on the final play. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. Now the ball comes loose, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And Wilson has it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And they'll run it here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be taken about the 12. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 3-19. 3-19. Under 10. Leopard.
They go play action here on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there for the Bengals. 53 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Done a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Hot.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead will shrink to 6. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. 45 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. Had a good move, but only able to work it to the 20-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it, eluding the pressure right. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he comes back with one complete. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough?
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 42, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pick up there, 26 yards. And on the ground they go with a running back. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. This is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. In for the score. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Hot!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. The job one to pick up the 1st down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll come out throwing here on the 1st down. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 34. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
That play seems to never work, but they were able to draw them off on 4th. And now it's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Higgins. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Browns, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
They call a podcast Poppy. These girls, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See slime break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a brake light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your in the hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday with the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold.
I reinvented myself, they sorta hated it. I reinvented myself and upgraded it. Traded in the jewels, copped a couple new ones. Lost a couple friends and got a couple new ones. Upstairs and downstairs, the balcony. These oceanside views, the alchemy. Ain't nothing crazy like the city in the summertime. So when it's winter, I still be on my summer grind.
Handle your business, handle your business.
Loyal and honor, don't break the bro codes. The more red rose, max with the rose gold. Whoever counted me out, they can't count. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it